Well, I was real excited to do a video, and suddenly that excitement turned to disappointment. Let me explain. This is the flame wheel on the bench. It's at the point of tuning. It's been flown manually, it's been flown in altitude hold and proven. It's had return to homes, even some emergency return to homes already. The return to home has been proven to work. So basic platform is good hardware wise. It's just still in the process of being rebuilt, which, by the way, I had this hanging in the overhead of my old shop in the basement of the other house about 5 years ago. We moved about 3 years ago. And it was tied up in the overhead with a little bungee cord or something through one of the arms. It's really easy to do. The problem was it's so heavy it broke it in the middle of the night. It fell to the floor, broke two of the arms, bent one of the expansion plates that are on the ends of the arms, and broke the landing gear. It wasn't a flying crash. It was actually a crash to the floor of the basement from when I had it in the overhead with broke. I remembered since I made my last video. Anyway, so that's the flame wheel, and it's been rebuilt, and it's back up to the point of tuning, fine tuning. And then last week or so, iNav announced support for the H743 wing, which is what's in this flame wheel. So I got real excited, and I was going, wow, now I can run Arducopter and then in the same day fly this with iNav. I thought that would be a really fun thing to do. But then disappointment set in. If you look up here on the screen, you'll see right now it's sitting here on the bench running Arducopter version 4.0.7, the latest stable version. Mission Planner had a recent release also. It's up to version 1.3.75 now for Mission Planner. So if I unplug the USB from the computer and hold down the DFU button on the little satellite board for the H743, close Mission Planner, we see iNav now sees DFU mode on the flame wheel. So I should come in here. I can now choose the H743 wing from the drop-down list. That is so wonderful. We want to use 3.0.1 for the H743. There's no previous versions because this is the first one that supports the H743. That's why there's not a bunch below this. Like if you chose the 765, when you choose this list, you're just going to see a bunch backwards that you can drop down, but not for the 743. So it's just taking up support. And then you load this firmware from the internet into the configurator. And that brings up the release notes when you do that. And then of course you're going to click flash firmware to put this on here. But before I did that, I started scrolling down in this list. And I started reading upgrading from 3.0.0, backup configuration with the CLI dump command. I'll have to look at that dump command. I thought it was a diff all, but probably both work, or maybe that's Betaflight. CleanFlight, Betaflight, iNav. There's about 2 more out there that are pretty much all the same interface almost. So started reading down through, and then I hit this line. CAN bus is not supported. And if we look down here at the flame wheel, I'm running Arducopter with the CAN bus. Now I also have a video where I put this module on a 765 wing, and the 765 does not have a CAN bus. So you have to run the module off this UART port right here on the right to the controller. And I've got that cable I made up for the 765 in the drawer someplace. That's all I have to do is click in here and then go to the 743 UART port, and I can load 3.0.1, the first iNav firmware to support the H743. I think I'm just going to build it back up. I'm just going to shut this down right here. This is why it's disappointing. It will flash. I have flashed it. If I click right here, flash, it's going to flash. It's just I can't use this GPS module with CAN bus not supported. I could take the cable out of the drawer, put it on the UART, put it on the 743. Then I'd have to go back and change everything I've done in Arducopter that I've got to the point of flight testing, tuning and flight testing. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the tuning of the Arducopter and get that all saved away to a file and stuff, and then I'll come back. I will likely run the M8QCAN off of a UART. I may put a M9 on there that's supposed to hook up just a plethora of satellites. I don't know. But I guess I'm going to back off at this point. It was rather disappointing to see that I wasn't just going to be able to start configuring the iNav. So, just going to shut this down. We'll just pick Mission Planner right back up. I've got a little tuning to do in here. Oops. Oh yeah, I have to reboot. A hard reset rather than just a warm restart. There we go. Dink. And off we go, reading the parameters out of the H743 in the Arducopter, and we're ready to continue with where I picked up. It's been 8 weeks today since I fell and hurt myself. I've been driving the last 2 weeks pretty well. Only in the last 3 or 4 days have I felt really comfortable driving again, so I'm recovering. Some of my thought processes are a little shaky still, so I'm not clearing myself to fly the flame wheel yet. I'm the only one keeping me on the ground, and I will continue to stay on the ground until I feel a little bit more confident. You know, if you watch my videos, this thing already tried to run off one time. Actually, it was 3 or 4 times that day, 200 feet in the air and fighting it the whole time. But it got back on the ground, and we're continuing to tune it. So that was my disappointment. Don't know if they will support CAN bus soon or if it'll be a while. All right, thank you.